A Value Tale about Harriet Tubman. Hello, here I am, up here in the sky. You can call me Starry. I've seen a lot from up here, but nothing like the story of a little girl named Harriet. She became famous for helping people. You can imagine me as her true voice, the voice inside her that Harriet learned to listen to even when things were difficult. Of course, she couldn't really see me, but perhaps she imagined me as a star, as you will soon discover. So if you're ready, let's begin our story together. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Harriet. Harriet was born during a time when it was actually legal to own another person in certain parts of the United States. Harriet was a slave, and she was forced to work very hard for the man who owned her. At harvest time, Harriet and the other slaves picked corn late into the night. While they worked, they would often sing a song about the people of Israel who had been held captive as slaves in Egypt. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. I wonder if anyone will help us the way Moses helped the people of Israel escape from Egypt, Harriet would say. The slaves would often whisper about places where black people could be free. There aren't any slaves in the northern states, said Harriet's father. All the people there are free men and women. I want to go north, Daddy, said Harriet. I want to be free. You see that star up there? Said her father. The big one that never moves? Well, that's the North Star. When you get older, you can go north. You just keep that star in front of you, and it will take you to freedom. That's where I come in. As Harriet looked at the real North Star, she imagined that she had a star inside her that would guide her. I became her true voice, that special friend inside of each person that helps you listen to your own best thoughts. As Harriet got older, her desire for freedom grew stronger. She heard stories about something called the Underground Railroad. What is the Underground Railroad, Harriet? I asked her. It's a secret way to escape to freedom, she explained. Some white people and black people help slaves travel along safe paths. The house the slaves hide in are called stations on the railroad. Many slaves made it to freedom, but Harriet saw how slaves who were caught were brought back in chains. She was too scared to attempt it herself. Instead, Harriet decided she would work hard baking pies and then sell them door to door to earn money. You see, if slaves could make enough money to give to their owners, they were sometimes able to buy their own freedom. Starry, she asked me, how many pies do you think I'll have to bake to earn enough money? Oh, I think we're getting closer, Harriet, I whispered. Let's keep baking. Harriet listened to herself, smiled, and went back to work more determined than ever to secure her freedom. While out selling her pies, Harriet met a woman who saw how determined she was to be free. If you want to escape, she said to Harriet, I can send you to people who will help you along the way. That's when I whispered to Harriet, if you accept her help, it can get you to a place where you may be able to help other slaves. Harriet thought a long time about whether she should attempt to escape. Harriet knew that there were people who were risking their own freedom in order to help slaves like her, but it would still be very dangerous. Do you have people who help you in your life? One day, Harriet heard a rumor that her owner was going to sell her. Harriet made up her mind then and there that she was going to escape. She set out that very night and headed into the woods. Don't be afraid, I whispered to her. Your daddy always said if you followed the North Star, it would take you north to freedom. You can do it. You're strong and you've got the courage to be free. Harriet needed her courage. She went on for 15 more nights, struggling through the darkness. She stumbled into holes. She tore her clothes on briars. In the daytime, she hid in barns and cellars because there were men out there searching for runaway slaves. But all along the way, she found people to help her. They passed her along from one helpful person to another until at last she crossed into the north. Do you think Harriet will now be safe? Freedom was as wonderful as Harriet had thought it would be. Harriet knew that she'd be safe if she remained in the north, but she couldn't help but think about the many slaves who didn't have their freedom. She soon joined the Underground Railroad herself so she could help others. Over the next 10 years, Harriet helped so many slaves escape to freedom that people started to call her Moses. "Look, Harriet," one pointed out, "there are posters offering money for your capture." Harriet cried, "Starry, this one says I'm worth $40,000. Harriet was afraid of what could happen if she were captured, but she carried on. Harriet found many other ways to help. When the Civil War erupted, she joined the Northern Army and traveled to the South to act as a nurse for injured soldiers. She organized the local slaves to help spy on the Southern forces. She even acted as a spy herself and helped plan an attack on a Southern plantation that freed over 750 slaves. When the war was over, even after all she had done, Harriet was only allowed to ride home lying on the floor of the train's baggage compartment. "Starry, we have a long way to go before we're really free." Well, I was too sad to even answer. When she got home, Harriet let people know about the terrible way that she had been treated. The newspapers spread her story, and many people who read it became upset. Over time, more and more people worked harder to make things better. Today, thanks to the help of Harriet and others like her, many people are treated more fairly than before. But there is still so much work to do. Now, as our story ends, you might want to think about yourself. You may not face the same struggles in your life as Harriet, but whatever you do, you may discover that when you help people in big and small ways, you can be happier too. Just like our good friend, Harriet Tubman.